Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know this looks very different than usual to those that watch me regularly. This is something very new. If you were to follow my podcast, this is something not new. My background, like why is he in the Chelsea background? Why is he wearing a pink Juventus jersey? If you know what's on my channel, the past I would say year or two, I've switched my content strictly to football. I've not been consistent, as every time I always say I'm going to be consistent, I'm not consistent. But I feel like a way in order for me to be consistent is really just to talk. Because sometimes I don't have ideas out the blue, or I try to be different, so I don't want to follow a trend or a crowd. But this is definitely something that I enjoy doing, just talking about football. Whether that's in depth or out of depth, like I just love speaking about football. So what I am going to be doing is I am going to be covering Chelsea games, some rival games. I will have a separate part in my videos of where I call it hate watch, where I speak about the rivals. For right now, strictly Chelsea content, but season just started. After this video, I am gonna drop a Chelsea season prediction. Right now, I'm just gonna do the whole league because it's easier to talk about. With Chelsea, there is a lot to talk about. But yeah, so if you're new around here, subscribe so you can keep up, and then I'll keep you updated on Chelsea, the Prem. We'll talk about Champions League. We'll also be doing IRL content, aka going to play some pickup matches, 5-a-sides, or some challenges, some vlogs. I have 2 match vlogs for the Club World Cup for Chelsea out right now. So if you're new around here or you're a regular and you didn't see that, please go watch it. Thank you. Alright, enough of me talking in this intro. Like I said, we're gonna be talking and playing football this year. Well, for now on, basically. It's time to be consistent, time to lock the fuck in. Alright. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing is the top 6. What I think is gonna be the top 6 and the regulated teams. Then I'm also gonna be doing the season awards and stuff like that. So I was gonna do a full Prem thing for a Prem table, but I will have to go a lot in depth. Do I feel like talking about Wolves? I don't want to talk about Wolves right now. I don't want to talk about Nottingham Forest, respectfully. Okay, so top 6. In 6th place, I have Spurs. So that might be a hot take for some people. That might not be a hot take. The reason I don't think is a hot take is just because I feel like they've done very well in the transfer market. They usually do very well in the transfer market. It just doesn't always work out for them, the signings. I unfortunately feel like they did very well, especially signing Mohamed Kudus. Baller, fucking baller. A few days ago they almost beat PSG in the UEFA Super Cup. It would be Spurs to choke twice in a game, but hey, can never be my team. Just saying that. They don't have bad players. I genuinely personally believe part of it was Ange. His tactics were very his tactics were very the way he used his tactics, I would say, were very prideful. Like if something didn't work, he did not care. He would still try to. So yeah, I feel like his tactics were very prideful. Then many times now with Thomas Frank, I feel like they're gonna be even more secure in the back, specifically, especially in that Super Cup. Romero and Mickey Van der Ven, they were solid. That back line was solid, honestly. Like Spence did his thing, Poro did their thing. It's just PSG being PSG. Spurs aren't that better than PSG. They almost had him. They ain't get him though. But yeah, I feel like they'll definitely do better. And I feel like I feel like most Spurs fans feel like their best, like the highest they could go is 6. Anything higher than that, maybe 7. Anything higher than that is you're shooting for the stars. You dreaming at that point. You know, that's a wet dream at that point. It ain't happening, my boy. It ain't happening. But yeah, if Spurs would have a good season, 7, I believe 7. Honestly, top of the table. Honestly, like 10th or higher would be improvement. But I feel like for them a good season would be finishing in Europe, which is Conference or Europa League. 5th place, I believe Newcastle, and this is with or without Isak. I do think they had arguably the worst summer transfer market ever. I've never seen a team go in for a player and get dubbed every time. Like that's like, bro, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, that's like if you actively going out to go bag some shorty and every single one of them is dubbing you. Like, you just not, it literally just shows you are not that guy. This was a humbling summer for Newcastle fans because they've been on a high horse talking about they the richest, they got the baddest midfield, they got the baddest striker up top. You know, they on a high horse talking about they should be in the top 6 conversations in terms of like clubs. This summer just proved that like y'all still little bruh. Like y'all little bruh, and simple as that. Y'all little bruh. And it's okay to be little bruh. It's okay to be little bruh. Chelsea at one point was little bruh. You know? Shout out Roman. You know, we still were doing our thugtism, but we had a grind to get up here. Same thing for Man City. Man City was like a relegation team at one point. They had to lock in, twin. You gotta lock in for it. You gotta lock in. You gotta lock in, boy. You gotta lock in. So for right now, your time gonna come, bro. Because if United or Spurs don't lock the fuck in, you could change for them, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon. Like, you literally need to bust your ass for that. And if that means letting go of Isak and some of your best players, hey man. And if y'all want to talk about FFP and PSR, I don't know none of that shit, bro. And I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, because my team is clear. We're good. If that's your problem, not my problem. So I don't give a fuck, and I ain't gonna talk about that. So yeah, Newcastle, I still think their team is good enough, but I do have an issue with their depth, because besides signing Elanga, and I believe they've only signed what's his face, the relegation view. Forgot his name. Fuck, the keeper. Fuck it out. I just blanked out. Forgot his name. Anyways, the one that's been relegated so many times. Like, he might be your bad luck charm, honestly. But I still think Newcastle's a good enough team to be in the top 6, and I do think they're still better than Spurs, in my opinion. 4th. Now we're not at the big dogs. I do think the gap between 5th and 4th isn't gonna be the same as like the past few years, or specifically last year when it came down to the last game. In 4th, I have Chelsea, the mighty world champions from London. Yes, the London Cowboys. To some people, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I thought you're world champions. I thought you guys were gonna go for the league." Bitch, we going for the league. Do I think we're gonna win the league? No. That's the difference between us and the rest of y'all. We're not delusional. Y'all want us to be like Arsenal fans. Y'all want us to be like Liverpool fans. Like, no. Y'all want us to be like United fans. And some of us are like United fans. They stuck in the past instead of being realistic in the present. So, realistically, will we challenge? Yes. But we not ready. We're not ready. Simple as that. Like, I didn't think last year we you can say for half the season we challenged. I don't think so. But if you want to say that we did, I guess. We challenged, and then the reason we kept saying we're not in a title challenge, we're not title challengers, quote unquote, is because we knew this was too premature. This is too premature. And what happened? We fell off the fucking high horse to the point that we barely got Champions League. We got it though. But I do think we're gonna. It was supposed to be a comfortable top 4 last year. This year will be a comfortable top 4. And if I'm wrong, chat, we're cooked. But nah, I don't think. I honestly don't think that. I do think we're in very good form. Very good fucking form. We haven't lost a game. Our last loss was against Flamengo. They fucking outplayed the shit out of us. But prior to that, I think I forgot where was our last loss. Yes, ever since that Fulham game where we came back 2-1 with a goal from George and Neto, we have been even we've had bad parts, but we've been consistently growing. Like, we've had bad parts. Don't get it fucked up. Yeah, we're going into like I said, I got to do a video specifically on Chelsea because obviously I'm a Chelsea fan. Those are my dogs. I got to do it. But I do think for Chelsea have the ability to honestly win, but win the whole thing. But are we gonna do it? Fuck no. We have the possibility because I do think all the top 4 teams definitely strengthened very well this year. Like, I literally think it's whoever I have it first, I think is gonna edge it regardless. I think they're gonna edge it regardless. But yeah, we're just not ready. It's too early. Maybe next year we'll talk again. All right. In third place, I have the invincible team from North London, Arsenal Football Club. I have Arsenal in third because I believe Arsenal, although they strengthened, I think this summer it's been noticed that there's bigger issues than a striker. They still need a left winger, in my opinion. That left center mid position. Yes, Rice occupies it, but there's some issues there. Odegaard and Saka link up. There's good and bads to it. You know, Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back this preseason. He's been stinky. I do think they missed their opportunity because Liverpool this season tightened up. Man City, everybody thinking Man City is in the top, so I'm like, nah. In my opinion, Man City are back. Signings, the quality of signings that they have signed, I think have been great. I do think Arsenal do have the best defense in the league, but and they have a very good midfield. Like, me being a biased hater and also a realistic hater, because although I am biased, I also am realistic. And yes, they have a very good midfield, but it's not a great midfield. I do think Zubimendi is gonna take them up a level, but Rice is gonna do his part. The other issue is your number 8, your capitano, your the hair flick guy. Number 8, yeah, him. He needs to have a season. Victor Gyökeres is definitely gonna get you guys goals. He's definitely the striker, but I don't think he's enough. We've also seen Martinelli. His time is up, and if they're about to lose SA and they're about to lose Rodrigo, the chances of getting them both. Leao is too expensive as well. I don't think they're gonna go for Leao. And if your left wing's options are Martinelli or potentially Nani Madueke, pack the league up. And I'm not saying those are terrible players. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying you missed your opportunity. And yes, you strengthen, but I don't think it's enough. Simple as that. Second and first, just get out the bag. In second place, I have Man City, and in first place, I have Liverpool. So, Man City second place. I do think Man City are back. They've strengthened very well. I believe in all areas besides defense. I still think they need a right back. They strengthened in keepers. Trafford, underrated fucking keeper. He's an underrated keeper. And yeah, I do think they still need a right back. Not saying that they have terrible right backs, but you got Rico Lewis, who a very versatile player, but I don't think he's fully trusted because he's not as physical. He's very I don't think size doesn't matter, but you could tell just by his frame he could get pushed off very easily. But the man got hard though, so if he is played, he's gonna give it 100%. So that's all you want from a player. And then you got Mateo Nunez. Yeah, he plays right back as well, but he's actually a center mid. He's actually like a cam or a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a fucking right back, but he does a job. So as long as you give your 100%, that's all that matters, honestly. They strengthened the midfield. Tijani Reinders, baller. A huge fan of Tijani Reinders. He's gonna make a huge fucking difference for that team. Ryan Cherky. To this day, it hurts me that Chelsea didn't go in for him when he was like 18 or 19. I'm talking about this is like 2-3 seasons ago. I think this is beginning of Todd Bowley era. I think we were interested or we were linked and having conversations. But regardless, that's a baller. And people gonna call him overweight or fat and stuff like that. These are professional athletes, and you're calling them overweight, fat, and unhealthy. I can't. It pisses me off because that is a baller. That is a gifted baller. He's gonna be so huge for them. They're getting rid of Savinho, meaning Oscar Bob is getting fully trusted, and Oscar Bob Oscar Bob is a baller. I've been saying it for a long time. Oscar Bob is a fucking baller. This is before he even made his proper debut. Before he was a household name around the City team. He's a baller. Alright, so yeah, I do think Man City strengthened very well. I'm not gonna keep talking about these teams, but yeah, second place, first place Liverpool. In my opinion, if Liverpool don't win the league, it's a failure. If Liverpool don't win the league or win the Champions League, this is a failure. And I don't mean they didn't win one and then won the other. No, they gotta win either one. You can count the FA Cups and Carabao Cups, but the way they moving and the way they signing, y'all better win it all at this point. And they look good. The only thing that is very worrying, where I think Man City could overpass them, is I do think Liverpool's defense this season is very shaky. They did buy 2 new fullbacks in Frimpong and Kirkes, but I do think they're very new and very weak at the back. If Van Dijk goes down, I'm very, very concerning. Very concerning for them, in my opinion. They do have players that can do a job. That won't be an issue. They're not gonna fall out of top 4 or anything like that. But it could be the reason why they may not win the league. But yeah, they've signed pretty much everybody. Kirkes, Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekitike. They're planning on signing Isak. If that happens, I think guaranteed the fucking league. If they get Isak, that guarantees the fucking league. Them getting Isak or not getting Isak is between guaranteed whether they win the league or not, in my opinion. It's a guarantee. Isak guaranteed. No Isak, it's not guaranteed, but I still have them as favorites, in my opinion. Yeah, Liverpool just looked too good, and the fact that they technically signed no one last year because they signed Mamardashvili, who went back on loan in Valencia, so they technically didn't have him, and then they signed Chiesa for very cheap, and he barely played, and most of the time was injury prone. So this season they went all out for Arne Slot, and yeah, like I said, if they don't win it all, it's a failure. But yeah, Liverpool win the league, and yeah, I do think this is gonna be one of the best Prem seasons in a long time. Like I do, could be because the top four are strengthened very well, and I feel like in the relegation battles or like below the table, it could get messy. The reason I didn't do a full in-depth table is because I do believe anybody in the bottom half is a toss-up. Also in mid-table as well. Also in the top half, like between 10th and 5th place, it could be a toss-up. Honestly, I do think every team has a good conversation on why they could be better than the other team. That's my opinion. There is some teams I'm just like, you don't got a chance, buddy. But there's some teams where I'm just like, ooh, like these two are very similar. I don't know who I'm gonna edge it to, you know. So that's my top six table. If you're a United fan, you wonder where I have United. I know that is something. I do think they're gonna get 10th or below. I don't see anything higher than 10th. If they get anything higher than 8th, congratulations. But anything, I don't. They signed a lot of players, and players that Newcastle wanted to, and one of those is Benjamin Sesko, and I believe they wanted in Buemo too. I could be wrong, but I feel like there's bigger issues than just signing players. Like, you need to let go of more players, respectfully. Like, that midfield is not it. That defense is not it. That keeper is not it. So they might get goals, but they might concede goals as well. So, well, they're definitely gonna concede goals. Like, that's a guarantee. One of the things why they didn't get the edge in certain games is because they were terrible up top. Like, they had 0 goal scorers up top. So you might concede some, but as long as you counter them with your own goals, you'll be alright, bro. You'll get that 10th place. Okay, so we're gonna go to now like season awards. Pretty much, I have it all on my phone, so I'm gonna be looking down a lot. Okay, so title winners: Liverpool. I explained why. Dark horse. I believe the dark horse this season will be Sunderland. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. And, well, I know one of the reasons why is because they went all out in signings. And in my opinion, it worked with Nottingham Forest. I feel it's gonna work out with Sunderland. Because if it doesn't work out, they're fucked. They're gonna get relegated, and then they're gonna lose some players. But even if they do get relegated with some of these players, it does strengthen them for the following championship season, so that when they do go back to the championship and then they play there, they're better. And if they do come up to the Prem, they're gonna sign more players that can help them stay up. So that's a good positive if they do get relegated. But I do think they're gonna be a dark horse. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. And them being my dark horse, obviously I don't have them getting relegated. I do think they're gonna break that cycle of yo-yo clubs. You know, like they constantly go up and then constantly go down. So Nottingham Forest, one of them. Brentford was one of them. Fulham was one of them. Let's see who. I'm hoping Sunderland's next. I wanted that to be Luton, because I actually fuck with Luton. Like that season they were here. And when it comes down to the who's gonna get relegated, I don't see Leeds as one of them. I unfortunately don't see Leeds staying up. I like Leeds. I don't know. When they came up to the Prem, and then they had players like what's his face? You know, they had Rafinha, I'm a big fan of Rafinha, so like I think they're the reason why. I don't know. I got like not like a soft spot, but I'm like, I like Leeds. I like Leeds. They're cool. And I like the jersey. I don't know why. I just fuck with their jersey. But I don't think Leeds are staying up. I don't think Burnley are staying up. I think those two promoted teams are gonna get relegated. And the Premier League team that's gonna get relegated, I believe, is West Ham. I think West Ham are cooked. I could be wrong. I hope they prove me wrong, because this is a proper English team. This is a top proper English team. This is a past champion of Europe, Conference League champion. Come on now, like. But I don't think they signed anyone. I could be wrong. No, I'm blind. They signed Callum Wilson, but I don't know. Especially having Potter. I don't know, Potter lately. That ain't it. He was it at Brighton. Chelsea definitely ruined him. And now he's about to ruin West Ham. So yeah, I do think West Ham get it relegated. I hope they don't, but prove me wrong. Player of the season. I do think player of the season will be Mohamed Salah for two reasons. He's gonna get plenty of assists and plenty of goals, and they're gonna win the league. Simple as that. There's no, like, even at his age, let's say he has a fall off season, I still think he's able to get 20 at his lowest 20 goals, and that's good enough to win you a league. That's good enough to win you a league, and that's good enough to win you a league when you got players like Ekitike, Wirtz, and Cody Gakpo, potentially Alexander Isak. So like, even if he doesn't score, I do see him like being given that final pass to plenty of options across the field. So yeah, that's why I have Mohamed Salah. Young player of the season, I do believe, is Ryan Cherki. Already said enough. The guy's a baller. He is 21, so he does, in my opinion, he does meet the criteria. I know it. You have to be 21 before the season starts, something like that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Turkey. In my opinion, Man City are tending back to that level of like they could potentially win the league. He's gonna play a huge part in it. At beginning of the season, I don't see him starting as much yet. He might need to like fully earn that spot, but for right now, talent wise, and if Man City play to the level I expect them to play or think they will play, I don't see why he can't be like one of the main guys and earn Young Player of the Season. Player to watch, Oscar Bob, back from his injury. I already said it again. I think Man City are back, and them getting rid of Savinho is basically a sign of like them giving Oscar Bob the opportunity. Honestly, even if Savinho doesn't go, I do think Pep sees Oscar Bob long term rather than Savinho. Clearly, it's clearly obvious, because if they gave up on Oscar Bob, because that's who I had as like a player to watch last season as well, I believe, or a young player this season. I had Oscar Bob, and then in preseason tears his ACL. He's out for the whole year. It broke me, bro, because I'm like, this guy's he's a kid, and two, he's a baller. You just want to see them succeed. So yeah, if they gave up on him, he would have came back from his injury, and they would have been like, yeah, your time here is gone up, or you're going on loan, either one. But no, they're giving him full trust. So I think he's definitely a player to watch. I don't think he's gonna have the season. I don't think he's gonna have the season I think he has the capability to have. I'm talking about like obviously 10 plus goals, 10 plus assists. But I do think his name will be in conversations coming up this season. So definitely a player to watch. Signing of the summer will be between Ekitike or Isak. And right now, Ekitike. Isak signs, is Isak. Why? Their players are going to win you the league. Simple as that. That's how I see it. It's a marquee, expensive signing that's going to win you the league. Many times there have been conversations about expensive signings, their and like what they have to bring to the table for that price tag. You know, even though the price tag isn't their fault, I think Ekitika is one of those players that has, in my opinion, will have zero pressure. And that sounds crazy for a player that is going for his price tag, very expensive price tag. Like someone that's playing right behind him, Florian Wirtz, who I am a huge fan of. I have his jersey in my closet, his Bayer Leverkusen jersey when he went invincible. I have that jersey because I rate him highly, and I found him on career mode, and since then he's been a baller. So to me, I feel like that's my boy, that's my son, that's my kin. So even though he's gone for more money, Wirtz has more pressure than him because I do think when you got players like Wirtz behind you, Cody Gakpo to the left, or potentially Isak or yourself playing on that left, and then players like Mohamed Salah, McAllister, Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai. You got players like Frimpong running down the wing, dropping in balls. Pause. Same as Kirkes, who's strong, quick, has a crazy left foot. I feel like he's joined the perfect club for his like either development or just success to be a successful player. He's just so fucking good, in my opinion. He's just so fucking good, and especially if Alexander Isak comes in, I do think Isak will score the more goals because I think he is a better player and he will be in the better positions. But that's why I think it's between either one. If Isak doesn't, obviously, if Isak doesn't join, it's gonna be Ekitika. But if Isak joins, I think it's gonna be Isak because in my opinion, Isak right now, he's up there with Haaland as best striker in the league. I mean, yeah, he's up there with Haaland best striker in the league. I wouldn't say the world. He is. You could say he's the best striker in the world, Alexander Isak, but I do think those two are just insane. Are insane signings. So yeah, I think those two. The Premier League Golden Boot winner, I do think Haaland. You could say Haaland last year had a fallout season. If a fallout season having 20 plus goals, I want a fallout season from all my players. And the fact that I do think Man City are back to that top level, and you got players like Cherki, Oscar Bog, Foden, who else you got? Tijani Reinders. Goals everywhere, balls everywhere. So yeah, Golden Boot is gonna be Haaland. And last but not least, the last award is first manager side is gonna be, in my opinion, Graham Potter. West Ham are getting relegated. Unless some other club like deadass just gave up on their manager, like I don't know, like United with Amorim, but I do think it's Graham Potter. That man cooked. Simple as that. So those are my predictions for this season. If you enjoyed this type of content, and if you wanna follow, keep up, subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment on it if you actually enjoy these type of videos. I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of them. I don't know about watch-alongs or like live streams. I've definitely thought of it, but right now, just videos first, and then later on we'll see about that. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time. Peace.
God is real and he using me for a bigger purpose. So fuck the world that would have you think that a nigga worthless. Sometimes I think that these verses can help a person way more than the ones they reading in churches on days of worship. No disrespect to the Lord and Savior, that ain't just ego. I just observed that them words no longer relate to people, cause modern time